My name's Robert. Pope Leo's first name is Robert. I'm a Southsider. Pope Leo's a Southsider. So I'm gonna give you the exclusive Southsider tour from a Robert to another Robert. So come along with me. I'm gonna show you where he grew up. I'm gonna show you some of his favorite food. I'm gonna show you why being a Southsider is so great and why our Pope is so great because he's a Southsider. All right, let's go. And look at this, 26 minutes from where the Pope grew up. I grew up in Oak Lawn, which makes it probably even a little closer. So 26 minutes, we're gonna be at where the Pope grew up. Also, I looked it up, his house, and just one more thing we have in common, a red brick house. What color house did I grow up in? A red brick house. I mean, I don't know, I'm just saying there's a lot of similarities between me and the Pope. As you can see, it's humble beginnings from where the Pope started from. Oh, we got some people here. Not as many as I thought, actually. All right, well, let's check this out. See where the Pope grew up. Dude, I got goosebumps, man. This is weird. When the Pope first came, like they announced it, he came out, I was like, wow, he looks just like, it was like very classic. You haven't seen sort of like that sort of like, you know, garb in a while. And I was like, that looks like a Pope. I just been sort of like dumbfounded. I'm like, wait, he's from here? Because you hear, you know, like when Pope Francis, you know, became Pope, or like John Paul II, although I was already born, you know, like the home country is like such an important part of who they came from and what they, you know, who they are. And it's just like this wild thing where I think for us, no matter where you are in the world, God can use you and do great things. It doesn't matter where you're from or what your background is. If you have a willingness to be open to God, sky's the limit. I mean, I'm just in awe and just grateful to God for just what he's doing with the world right now. Right now, I am standing in the backyard that the Pope grew up in. Wild. And I think about this tree. I guess, let me just check this out for a second, because like the tree in my backyard was like, I mean, I would climb it, I would swing from it. There were so many like moments of that. And this tree, God, it had to have been around when he was a kid. Doesn't look like it's a super new tree. And so I just, you know, you think about just the little memories that he had, you know, playing back here as a kid. I'm sure he rode his bike here. Maybe he did a couple of wheelies. So I thought it'd be fun for me to do a wheelie in front of the Pope's house. All right. Whew. All right, well that was fun. Hopefully I could do a wheelie for the Pope in person one day. And actually, I do have a present for the Pope. Being that he's a Sox fan, if you remember the Sox in the 90s, Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt, I have a jersey from him my uncle gave me as a big gift. If I ever meet the Pope, I'm gonna give him my Frank Thomas original jersey, and then I'll do a wheelie for him. All right, let's go to the next location. All right, so we're at St. Mary of the Assumption. This is just blocks away from his house. It's since closed down, but we're gonna go check it out. He used to serve mass here. All right, so it's closed in 2011, which is 14 years ago now. He was an altar server here when he was a young boy. I could imagine not only altar serving, but come to mass here every Sunday. This location having so much of the core foundation of his faith, you know? So I'm excited to hear that they have plans to restore it, because it's a beautiful church. I hate to see any church go into disarray. Beautiful statue of Mary up there. So on to the next location of the Chicago Southside Pope tour. We're gonna leave the neighborhood that he grew up in and head to other parts that have been foundational and a couple fun little gems that I imagine he still visits when he comes back. So, all right, let's go. All right, so we're rolling up at, I'm gonna call it Sox Park to not offend anyone. Comiskey is really the original one. And this is New Comiskey. Old Comiskey was right over there. And I'm sure the Pope went to Old Comiskey. But we're at Sox Park. You probably have seen he was famously at Game 1 of the World Series. I've been to many games here myself. Was a big Sox fan growing up. Went to Sox Fest.
Not much. I was too excited.
Like I said, I got Big Hurt's jersey, so better meet the Pope and give him that jersey. All right, let's check it out. Well, first off, I'm just excited he's not a Cubs fan, but I'm sure he's been here for many games. You know, if you're a Sox fan, you're a lifelong Sox fan. So let's go check out some of the more iconic stuff up front. You know, once most people come to Chicago, they go to Wrigley because it's like the more iconic, you know, stadium and stuff. So, and usually you can get tickets pretty affordable if you're at Sox. So, especially as a Southsider, it's not an expensive outing. They used to have a slogan. They say, "Good guys wear black," because Sox is all black. And obviously the priesthood, you know, there was some vocation signs. It's like "Good guys wear black." So, I don't know. I think it's just the Pope. He's a Sox fan, good guys wear black, although the Pope wears mostly white right now. But his call to the priesthood, maybe it started with one of those signs, good guys wear black for the White Sox. Still just sinking in that this is all normal stuff. Like, this is a very familiar place, and for the Pope of the church to have this be, you know, a similar thing, it's wild. Really cool. Well, we're gonna go to St. Rita, where he taught high school. I knew a bunch of friends went to St. Rita, and we'll go check it out and see what we can see there. But we'll see you soon. Guaranteed rate park. I can't do it. All right, so we're at St. Rita High School, where Pope Leo taught math and physics in the 80s. I think about a lot of teachers that I had in my life and what a lasting impression that they had on me. So I can only imagine people that were taught by Pope Leo thinking about that now. They're probably reflecting on words that he said, and now that he's a Pope, they're those words are cemented in their mind and their brain and that memory. And so, what the Pope put into their hearts at a young age has had plant seeds and grown all across the country, all across the world, but especially here in the South Side. So very cool stuff, very cool stuff. Our last stop, there's many things we can go to, but our last stop on the tour, we got one more thing that the Pope and I have in common. Not only our favorite restaurant, but we ordered the same thing. So let's go check it out. Come on. Not the last time I was here, because that was a while ago, but we've been here so many times for this family event, or this is where I told my parents we were pregnant. Really, really fun memory with there, but you can see on the sign, it's official, Pope Leo XIV. And if you're wondering, it smells exactly what you would think of. It's got the old school stuff. On all their pizza begins to go, it says, "Tell them Joe sent you." This is the founder, Joe Aurelio. Hey, is it possible to see the Pope chair? Nice. That's awesome. That is so cool. That is so cool. I mean, I've literally eaten in the same spot, at that table over there many times. I haven't sat in this chair. Let's see. They actually got real wine too. I'm not gonna eat the pizza. I highly recommend, if you make it out here, you gotta try the pepperoni pizza. Aurelio is just hands down my ultimate favorite. And you gotta come here, remember, ask him to cook it in the old oven. It's the best. Got the fresh pizza. Well, that's the cheese. Look at this. Look at that top layer. Oh, smells so good. All right, I gotta show you the pepperoni. Got sausage cheese. Oh, here it is. Here it is. So just look at that. Look at it. Look at the layer on top, that cheese. It does not get any better than this. We have a Pope to prove it, to say this is his favorite. So if you're in the area, you do the Pope tour, get the pepperoni, enjoy, and make sure you tell them that Joe sent you.